Hey, welcome back. Check out my new Alan Holdsworth t-shirt. I got it for Christmas. Pretty cool, huh? But I'd like to start today's episode with talking about straps, and notably this one, which I stole from a noted guitar company in the US when I worked for them. It was just laying all dusty on the warehouse floor, and I took it. Anyways, come and get me if you want. I don't know. But the thing is, it's really the fault of the strap button on the guitar. This one in particular, it's facing at the wrong angle. It's going up at this kind of diagonal affair when it should be going straight out like that. I know this now, but when I asked for the strap button to be placed, I didn't. But that's R&D for you, I guess. And before you ask, yes, I do have a strap lock, and I do have it on this guy here because it's more important that the strap stays on here because of the cable. So it was like a Sophie's choice. It was exactly like Sophie's choice. But this guy's been popping off. Anyway, there you go. Because the hole is loose or whatever. But that's not the attitude that made this country great. I'm not going to just sit around and be angry about it. So the other night I was like, well, what have I got? And I just picked up my little bag of tools, and in it I had this old lock washer. I'll show you here, but I'll also put a picture up. And so I, with a bit of brute strength and a pair of wire cutters, I cut through it, and then with some Allen wrenches prying against, I had the leather of the strap in between, so it didn't hurt the guitar, but I like pried and got it to go around the strap button here. And it's been working really well. It doesn't come off at all. So don't be afraid to do a bit of Heath Robinson work and just make what you have work for you. Houston, may I pet that dog? Transcribing and or learning a song from memory. It's a good challenge, a nice way to train your ears in silence, and also, most importantly, it's free. Now, the most recent song I've done this with is the first, The Last My Everything by Barry White. It goes like this. You know the one. Anyway, the chords are really cool in it, and I want to talk about them, but first of all, let me elaborate on what this exercise is, right? Imagine you've got like a tape deck in your head, and you push play, and on the inside of your brain, the song that you love plays, and you try and figure it out on your instrument, you know, banjo, kazoo, bassoon, whatever you've got, right? And then the real enriching part of it is when you come to listen to the actual song and see if you were right or not. And in this case, I was, so let's move on to the chords. Now, the first, the one, or a home bass, is F major. And then we move to F major 7, walking down on that D string, to a D minor 7. Now, if F, is our 1, D minor 7 is our 6. And there's a very 1s and 6s nature to this progression, which we'll talk more about as we move on. And yeah, so... And then we take one step back from D minor 7 to the... Or maybe one step back forward, well, depending on your perspective, you know, it's everything. Back to the F major 7. But then we modulate to the F dominant 7. Now, the difference between a minor 7 and a dominant 7, since they both feature that flat 7 note, is what kind of 3 you've got, which is a minor 3rd, you've got a minor 7, natural 3rd, you've got a dominant 7. Glad to clear that up for you. And also, F7 is the 5th of B flat major, which is where we're going next with our chords, so that's how it makes sense. And then the next chord is G minor. And G minor is the 6th of B flat major, right? So there's that. And then our next chord is C major, which would be like in B flat major, would be like a 2 major, kind of weird, but then it makes sense once our next chord is revealed, which is A minor. There's a lot of chords here to be talking about, which is the 6 of C major, right? And then we go to D minor, which is the 2 of C major, but it is also the 3 of B flat, which is our next chord. We go back to the B flat. Clever Barry White. Very clever Barry White.
Thank you, baby.
And then we have a B flat minor to a C, which makes sense because we're walking down. You hear pay attention to the B string. but then C major, or, you know, C major, C7, whatever, it's a major type chord, is the 5th of F, which is where we land again. Really cool, really clever stuff from Barry White. 7 months go by. Wait, I'm still making this? Alright. I love this chord, and it is a dominant 9 chord, because it has a root, a dominant 7, a 9, and a natural third, or a major third. And that major third is why that 7 is dominant. If it was a minor third, you would have a minor 9 chord, and that would be a minor 7. There's a mystery solved for you. If you were confused about it. Now, identifying chords by their intervals, it's a fun thing to be able to do, and you can learn it too by purchasing my 13-part videos. I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Starting with a little story of what I did years ago, listening to big band jazz over the course of about 6 weeks, I wrote out these charts of how every note relates to every other note in all 12 keys. You can see another one underneath. You don't really need to worry about the nuances of it right now, but the way I plotted it out along the top is in the cycle of fourths. Started out in fifths, but that felt clunky, so I went to fourths, which is a C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C, and that's largely how the guitar is tuned, not in the cycle of fourths, but in fourths, you know, so E, A, D, G, then you got the little odd one out, B, and then it reverts back and goes to E. So there's kind of like a forward motion if you do things in the cycle of fourths. I noticed as I was looking at the charts that there was a pattern if you just go around the cycle of fourths, and you can assign any note to it. I realize that this is becoming a lot more complicated as as I go along, but you know, I just realized this as I was sat in a doctor's office once. I was like, I put this pattern together with the cycle of fourths, and then I was like, oh my god, you can figure out how any note relates to any other note with this simple memory or mind trick. I don't know what to call it, but anyway, I'm going to try my best to explain it to you in one take. And so that pattern is goes thusly, right? So you've got, let's stay in D here, so you've got the root, and then after that, of course, if you go up a fourth, you've got the fourth or the 11th, but we're going to use really plain simple language here just for the sake of expedience. If you want to be pedantic with me in the comments, that's fine, give me the engagement, I'd love that. But yeah, so the pattern goes thusly, and see if you notice it. 1, 4, flat 7, and then you have the flat 3, flat 6, flat 2, which could be on either string, flat 5, major 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 again. Now, if you've noticed there, what you get is 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, 6, 2, 5, major 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, root again. So besides a little bit, you've got like flat 7, flat 3, 6, 2, 5, major 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, which if you've studied chord progressions, that's 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 is a big deal with jazz progressions. So that pattern, you can just, if you know your cycle of fourths, you can plot any one anywhere. Like you say, oh, here, D. Okay, so what's this note here? Oh, that's the flat 7 there. And you can do other things like by using octaves or whatever. You go, oh, okay, so of course a whole step behind is also a flat 7, of course. But there's a lot you can do with that kind of key, or I don't know what to call it, that little pattern of notes. Just remember it in your head, and then you say, like, you go, oh, okay, so we're up here, and then it's like, oh no, this is a new root, so it's like, oh, okay, well that's the 5 and that's the 4, and then and then that's the flat 7 now, and all that kind of thing. So if you're in a chord or whatever and you change, you can use that series of fourths and that pattern of intervals to figure things out, and hopefully that helps. This is probably really unintelligible, I just realized, but there we go. This is probably the first and last long video of this manner I will ever make, because it's taken so long for me to make. But yeah, cheers, have a great day everybody.